Good morning everyone. Today we'll understand how to develop a simple Android application that uses GUI components, font and colors. So first we'll decide the design. Okay. So this is my monitor, my mobile screen. Okay, this is my mobile screen. So I want to use a GUI components, font and color. Okay, so for a GUI component, so I just write in a one text here. The text is in a hello world text. Hello world. So for the same, so here I'm going to make a changes to this text. That means color and font changes. Okay. So to change in a color and font, I will insert a two buttons here. If I click on this button, it changes the font. Change font, and if I include one more button, let me include a one more button that changes the color. Change color. Fine. So this is my design. So the design is completed. So shall we start doing our Android application? Yes. So go to start and here go to Android Studio. Click on the Android Studio. Yes. Now go to new file, go to file, new project, click on empty activity, click on empty activity. So there are many activities are available, so you can select whichever the activity you need it. So activity is a screen that is visible to a user. Okay, so let me select an empty activity, click on next. So here you can give in your program name or your application name. I'll name it as a hello world. So here by default it takes a package com.example.hello world and it will be saved in this location. If you would like to change the location, you can just make it changes to that. So there are two languages are available, Java and Kotlin. We'll do it using in a Java. And minimum SDK required. Here you can select a minimum SDK required. So there are the many API versions which has been released. Okay, so you please make sure that which is the API or the SDK required for you. Okay, which is the application program interface. Which version of the application program interface is needed for your program you are supposed to select. Okay, so the latest release is an Android 10.0, that is in a queue. Okay, so next to the Android 30 is also been released. So I'm going to use an Oreo. Okay, Android 8.0 Oreo I'll use. So you can use any of the SDK that you needed, any of the API needed for your project. So after selecting the minimum SDK, click on finish. So it takes some time to load the Gradle. So let's wait for a few seconds. So here your Gradle is loading. So this is your Gradle. Initially you have to write your front end, that is an XML. Then after completing writing in a XML, you can go with your back end, that is in a Java program. Okay, now so your Gradle is got loaded. So shall we write the program? So here you are supposed to go to an activity underscore main.xml file to write your front end. Okay, let's first design the front end. So please go to activity underscore main.xml. Okay, activity underscore mail.xml. So here you have to design it. So there are two ways to design. Either you can just use here the palettes, and then here the attributes are available. Okay, so for each of the whatever you have selected, the attributes are available. So you can make any changes to these attributes and set, or else you can write in a code directly. So for writing a code, you can just click on the code, and if you want to design it, you can click on here on design. So let me click on the code. So here the code is available. You can type your code directly. So if you want to type your code directly, you can type it. Otherwise, you can just go to a design, click on the design, and then start designing it. Okay, fine. Yes. Now we'll understand how to design. So initially there will be always a hello world. If you're not don't want, you can just delete it. So let me delete. Okay. Now initially you have to select the which constraint you would like to use. Okay, which is the layout. Sorry, not constraint. Which is the layout you would like to use. You are supposed to select. There are different types of the layouts are available. Here if I click on here, so look at here, constraint layout, linear layout, vertical and horizontal. So two different linear layouts are available. Frame layout, table row, space. There are different layouts are available. You can select whichever the layout needed. So for my application, I would like to use a linear layout. Okay, I like to use a linear layout vertical. Okay, so here by default there will be a constraint layout. I would like to change this to a linear layout. So what you have to do is please click on the constraint layout and right click on it. Okay, so initially you have to click on the constraint layout, right click on that. So now you are supposed to click on a convert view. Okay, click on convert view. So now it asks you to convert from constraint layout to which layout. I would like to go with a linear layout. Okay, I would like to go with a linear layout. I'm going to click on a linear layout apply. So by default there is a linear layout horizontal, but I want linear layout vertical. So to convert the linear layout from horizontal to vertical, again right click on the linear layout. So you can go here. Okay, so linear layout, convert orientation to vertical. I don't want horizontal orientation, I want vertical orientation. Why I want vertical orientation means, so here look at it. If it is a vertical orientation, so these things I can include. Okay, yes. So my design suits for a vertical layout. Okay, so ಇಲ್ಲಿ ನೋಡಿ horizontal ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಹೀಗೆ ನಾವು ಬರುತ್ತೆ ಅದು. Vertical ಅಂತ ಬಂದಾಗ, so here, so this looks like this and this look. Okay, so let me convert the view, convert the orientation to vertical. So now it got converted to a vertical orientation. So according to my design, what I need inside this layout, initially I need a text. Okay, so that text contains a hello world. Okay, so what you are supposed to do is, here you can go with a text, click on the text. Okay, here you can go to the palettes, the text. So there are different forms of text view, plain text, password, numeric, email, phone, many other. So I just want to display some text that is in a hello world. So I select in a text view. Click on the text view, drag and drop where you want. Okay, in your layout. Okay, click on in the text view, drag and drop it. So I will show you. So click on text view, drag and drop in your layout. Okay, so after dragging and dropping, here it comes. So click on here this text view, and here the attributes are available. You can make any changes to the attributes. Okay, you can make any changes to the attributes. So shall we make any changes to these attributes? Yes. So before that, let me make any changes to my linear layout. Let me look at, so what are the attributes? It has already been set. So it's set the layout width is in a match parent. So what is the width is? So here ಇಲ್ಲಿ the width ಇದೆಯಲ್ಲ ಅದು ಆ constraint ಗೆ match ಆಗಬೇಕು. Whatever the layout is there, so it matches to the. So there are match parent, and this is also height is also layout height is also match parent. Okay, so there are two different attribute values are there, match parent and wrap content. So I would like to go with a match parent. Okay, so after that, let me select the attributes for an make any changes to the attributes for a text view. So you are supposed to click on the text view, and now you can make any changes to this. So what is that? So I would like layout width. Layout width means from here to here it is there. Okay. So width, let it be in a match parent itself. Yes, okay. Then I'd like the height is a wrap content. Yes, to content is the matra adu height irbeku. Okay, fine. That's fine. So then you can make, these are the some of the common attributes which is already set. So if you go and look at the code, you can look at here. So by default, the code is generated. Okay, by default, the code is generated. You can look at here. So the ID is given to the text view, and these are the some of the attributes. Okay, so layout attributes set ಮಾಡಿದ್ದೀನಿ. So these are the attributes: layout underscore width, layout underscore height. So these are the values which is being passed to these attributes. Okay, let me go to next design. Now I can make a few changes to uh, my design or my text view. Okay, you can add and declare in a few more attributes. If you want to set enough values to the few more attributes, you can set. Okay, so what here I would like to give in a text. So by default the text is in a text view. I want it to set it to a hello world. So I'm not going to write that hello world here. Okay, I'm not going to write it here. Instead, I'm going to write it in a file called a string. Okay, for that, string.xml, I'm going to write the what is the exact string in a string.xml. Okay, so that is the good habit to write your text in a string.xml. So for that, you're supposed to write an string slash, so I'll just write it as an HW, hello world. Okay, so later I'm going to write this in a string.xml file. String will be declared later. So shall we see which are the other attributes I can set? So these are the some of the attributes available. You can set whichever the attributes you want. So I'm going to set these ones. Okay, now I'll go with a gravity. So I would like to set the gravity. You can click on this flag. So there are the different attribute values are available. You can select whichever you want according to your design. Okay, I would like to put it in a center. So I'll select in a center and then apply. So you can look here, it came at center. Okay, fine. So then let me go. So gravity I select it as a center gravity. Then so let me select whichever you want. Let me go down here. I like to select a few more attributes. I would like to select layout gravity. Okay, so the layout gravity is available. Let me put this also to an centered or a start. Okay, let me put it to an start. Okay, so beginning a little. So then let's see that mini here margin. I would like to go with a layout margin. I'll set it to an so here you please check it out. So the different margins are available here. I'll set the margin to horizontal, vertical, start, left. So I'll go with a layout margin. I'll set around 30 dp. So dp and sp are in a units, okay, are the units. So now it came little bit down, okay. So you can set according to that. So wherever it should be displayed, you can set. So let me display a little bit down. So I'll set it as an a 40 dp. So it's came little bit down. You can just see, okay. Yes. So I think this is enough. So let me set a few more attributes. As I don't want these attributes, let me come down. Yes, I would like to set an style, okay, text style. There is a normal font is there. I would like to go with a bold, so apply it. Then I would like to change the text size, okay. Text size, I would like to change it to an 30 sp. Yes, it's looking little bit big. Okay, fine. Okay, you can set whichever the value that you needed. Okay, so after setting this, so let me go to an string.xml. Okay, so to go for a string.xml, here you can come to your project. So here go to result, go to values, okay, values, and here there is a string.xml. Click on the string.xml. Result values string.xml. Here you can give the name, okay. So you can give the name. So initially there is an hello world, so it was already there. Okay, fine, let it be the hello world itself. So let me give an so what was the name I have given. What is the name I have given is, okay. So please don't change the app name. So this is an app name given. So below that you are supposed to give the whatever you want, okay. String string name. Yen at the name could be HW, right? So here we have given. You can just go and look at here. So what is the name we have given here is an app. Click on this. Okay, codal nodi. Yen name koಟ್ಟಿದ್ದೇವೆ ನಾವು. We have given it as an HW, at string slash HW. So let me write HW. Okay, close this. And here you are supposed to give what it has to display. So I would like to display hello world. I would like to display hello world. Okay, so this completes. Let me go to my activity. Here the code, and this one you can just look at here, the hello world is key. Okay, fine. So this completes my text view. Next, what we have to do is we have to add in two buttons. So I'm clicking on those buttons. This text should change the font and then the color respectively. Okay, yes. Now let me add in a button. So to add in a button, you please go to palette. Here click on the button. So there are many different types of the buttons are available. Button, image button, chip group, checkbox, radio group, radio button, toggle button, etc. Let me select a button, click and drag and drop it here. Okay, so and let me take in one more button also. Click here, drag and drop it here. Fine, yes. So then now let's set the attributes for each of the button. Let me click on the button. Yes, I'll set the attributes. So we'll set few attributes for the button. So initially, so by default, so layout width. In layout width, actually there are two attribute values are there: match parent and wrap content. You can, if you want to match to the layout, you can select as a match parent, or you want to just wrap the content, you can select an attribute value wrap content. Okay, so for a button, okay, for a button, width, let it be in a match parent, and height, let it be in a wrap content. So if you don't want, you can select an width also as a wrap content. If you select, it looks like this. Okay, so I would like to go with an wrap content, so that looks better. Okay, so that depends on the what is the attribute value you would like to give. It depends on you. Okay, so let me select in a wrap content. And what is the text I would like to display? I'll write it later. So let me write string. I'll write it in a string.xml. That is a good habit of writing. That's why I'll use string dot. So here I'm going to change the font. So I'll just write a font. Okay. Yes. I'll just write a font. So let's change in a few more attributes. So shall we go there? Yes. Come down. Come down. I want to set these attributes. Fine. Then I would like to set in a gravity. Okay, gravity, let it be in a center. Center gravity apply. So it will come to a center. Okay, fine. So then we'll go to a layout margin. Okay, layout gravity also we can select in a center if you want. Yes, it came to a center for selecting a layout gravity. Let me select it to a center. If you would like to add in some margin, if you would like to ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಕೆಳಗಡೆ ಏನಾದರೂ ಬರಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ಅನ್ಸಿದ್ರೆ you can add it. So let me add to 30 dp. So yes, now it's looking a little bit better. Yes, and then let me change in some text size and then the style also. Okay, fine. Shall we come down? Yes, here text size I'd like to go with an 18 is enough, 18 sp, and style I would like to bold it. If you want to apply italic, you can apply. Yes, so shall we write the actual text in a string.xml? Yes, so string, so please include a tag string, include a tag string name. So what is the name is we have given is in a font. So here I would like to give change, change font. Fine. So come to an activity change font. So this completes. You can look at the code here. The by default the code is generated. So for the first button, width is in a wrap content, layout underscore height attribute value we have passed is in a wrap content, gravity center underscore margin 30, gravity center, text size text. So similarly for the other button also you can set the same attributes. Okay, so here itself you can make any changes to that. So here I would like to go with not in a match parent code level one. I'll show you that. Okay, wrap content, and I would like to set the same attributes. Okay, Android colon. I would like to set the layout margin, so I would like to set for around 30 dp. Then I would like to set a layout Android, layout gravity, let it be a center, and then I would like to set that just a gravity Android, gravity center, Android colon. So I would like to set the text. Okay, text is, so here itself it is available button. I don't want that to be a button, so instead of button I would like to give a change color. So I'll write the text in a string string.xml. So for here you're supposed to write at string slash, so I'll give a color name as a color. Okay, later there is a red color is coming because we have not yet set. That's why. So now let's add in a text size and text style. Android colon text size. So I would like to go with an 18 sp. Okay, I would like to go with an 18 sp, and let me add in a text style. Android text style. I would like to add in a text style. So there are three attribute values are available for the text style attribute: bold, italic, normal. I would like to go with a bold. Okay, fine. So here, so what the red color indicates there is error. So there is error because we have not yet defined this. So let's go to a string.xml and then define the string. String name. So what is the name I have given is color. So here I would like to give the name as a change color. Got it? Yes. Shall we go and see the design? Let me go to the design. Yes, this is how it's looking. If it is fine for you, it's fine. Okay, you can just how your design is looking, you can just go here. So here you have to select whichever the emulator you needed or the Android virtual device you would like to run. So here there is a run button. You can just go and click on this run button. So it launches the emulator. There you can check how exactly your design is looking. So here your Android emulator is launching. This is your Android emulator. So it's taken a few seconds to load. Let's wait for it. So this looks like your mobile itself. So there is a power button, your volume button. See whether you would like to rotate left, right. So to take an image, to zoom in, to go back button. So all are available. Yes, this is how it looks like. If it is okay for you, you can just proceed. Or if you would like to make any changes, you please make a changes in the activity underscore menu. For me, it looks like yes, fine. So I will just now start writing the backend code. Okay, so to write the backend code, you should go to an main activity.java. Main activity.java. Here you are supposed to write your code. So for what you are supposed to write your code, on clicking on this button, here the hello world font should change. So to change the font, you are supposed to write the code. And on clicking on this button, here the hello world text color should change. So for that you are supposed to write the code. Okay, so shall we write any code? Yes. So here the by default, so these are the code which will be generated. Okay, fine. So let me write it. So initially what you have to do is, okay, so these are all available on create function. Okay, fine. So here you are supposed to type your. So what you have to do is first you have to declare an object for the text view button. Okay, for both the buttons, text view and buttons. So with respect to those object, you can access the text view and then the buttons. So for that, let me create an object text view. Okay, text view. So if you type it by default, it imports the android.widget.textView. Okay, so in widget there is a class called text view. So by default it imports the libraries of the functions of the a text view class. Okay, yes. So let me create an object. I'll call the object as an T1, T1, T1 is equal to. Okay, so you are supposed to find the ID of that text view. Okay, so what is exactly the ID is? So look at here. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ID ಇದೆ, ಇಲ್ಲಿ ID create ಆಗಿದೆ. If you go to the code, you can just look at here. ID ಏನಿದೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿ plus ID slash text view 2. Okay, so this is what the ID. So you should get that ID. Okay, you have to refer. So for that you have a function called find view by ID. So inside that you are supposed to write the what is the ID is. So actually, so the ID is present in an activity underscore main. Okay, so that is present actually in an R file and the result file the layout. Okay, so that's why you are supposed to write it as an R means result file, this result file. R dot ID dot text view. So here so please look at the ID of your text view and then you please enter it. Okay, so the text view ID is text view 2. So by default it is already generated. So make sure that whatever the ID you are referring, that is what you are adding. Okay, so you have to convert this to a text view class. So that's why you are supposed to add it here. Typecasting, you have to do it text view. Okay, so this we created an object or a variable to access a text view. So similarly, let's create an object to access a button. We are supposed to use a button class. Okay, button. I'll go with an b1 equals. First you have to find the ID. For that, find view by ID function. R dot ID dot. So just look at what is actually the ID is. ID is button. ID name is button. So you can just click on this button. So you are supposed to do a typecasting button. Okay. Similarly, create an object for a second button. I'll go to B2. Find the ID. Find view by ID. R dot ID dot. So just to cross check what is actually the ID name is given is button 2. Fine. So now what you have to do is now I'll go to write an code to change the font. Okay, I'll write a code to change the font. Here I'll go to click on the button. Here on clicking on this button, this font should get changed. So there is a function called an onClick function. Okay, onClick function. On clicking on this, so here it should set the listener. Okay, so for that I'll go with a b1 button. b1 dot ಆ button press ಮಾಡಿದಾಗ font change ಆಗಬೇಕು. So b1 dot I'll go to write a function called set on click listener. This the function is set on click listener. Okay, so we are supposed to use an on click listener function. The set on click listener. Here inside this you are supposed to write a new. Okay, new particular view. Okay, a view on click listener. Okay, so view dot on click listener functionally. So inside that you are supposed to go with an on click function. On clicking on in a particular view, what is the view is in a button. Okay, on clicking on a particular view, that is in a V. So what you have to do is you are supposed to change the text. So what is the text is T1. T1 dot, please set the text size to set text size. Okay, set the text size. So ಎಷ್ಟು set ಮಾಡಲಿ, I'm going to set it to a font. Let me take in a variable called a font. Here, let me take a variable called a font. So it is of a float type. Float font. Initially, I'll set the font to 30. Okay, so set the font to 30. So and then you please increase that font to +5. Font equals font +5. If font equals, if it reaches to 50, okay, if it reaches to 50, again set the font to 30. Okay, fine. So this will be repeating whenever you are going to click on the button. So once you click on the button, it sets the font to 30. Again, if you click on the button, it sets to +5, +5, 35, 40, 45, 50. Once it reaches to 50, again it will get set to a 30. Okay, so this completes your set on click listener function on clicking on in a button one. Now shall we write in a program on clicking on in a second button? So on clicking on in a second button, so that is you should change the color. Okay, so shall we write in a code for that? Yes. B2 dot set on click listener new. So all the libraries are available. Okay, you should know only how to use those libraries. View on click listener. So there is an on click function inside this. So I'll take in a switch statement. Okay, I'll take in a switch statement. So inside it I'll take in a variable called an ch. Okay, initially let me declare that ch variable, which is of a type integer in ch is equal to 1. Fine, yes. ch1. So first case, if an ch value is 1, so what you have to do, you have to set the color to some color. So text na refer madlike what you have to write, you are supposed to write a t1 dot. To set the color, I am going to use a function called a set text color. Okay, set text color. So I'll select that. So there is a class called a color. Okay, inside that color class, I'll add a color. Color dot. You can go with any of the color you would like in a black, blue, cyan, gray, green. Many colors are available. Okay, so initially I'll go with a blue. Okay, so let me break it. Here you're getting in a red color because we have not yet imported in a color class. So to import the color class, you can just uh, press Alt Enter. So this imports the class. Okay, so it went down. So you're supposed to give in a capital letter. Okay, so similarly, again if I press on a button, case 2. t1 dot set text color let me use in a color class color dot I would like to go with in a green, which is the color you want. You can just select it and let me have a break. Let me go with in a one more color. Let me set in a one more color. t1 dot set text color color class. I'll go with an cyan this time. Okay, break. Now you have to increment this ch value, right? For that, let me increment the ch value. Ch plus plus. So how many times you have to increment? If ch equals 3 times, again ch 3 ಆದ್ಮೇಲೆ ಅದು 1 ಆಗಬೇಕು. If ch is equal to 4, let me again set the ch is equal to 1. So this completes your backend code. Okay, here so please check for the errors. If there is a red mark, there is an error. I forgot to colon. So there is no any red marks, so there is no any error. Okay, now we can just go here and then run the app. So this launches your emulator. Yes, so here you can just launch here. So this launches your app. Click on the button change font. So there is a changes in the font. You can observe the changes in the font.